Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conscious Conversations in Parenting. I'm Angie. This is Natalie. And yeah, today's episode 32. Can you believe it's episode 32? Like, let's talk about that for a moment. Like, holy moly. I remember when we were like doing this sort of winging it before doing live, and now we're at episode 32. Okay, anyway, today we're going to be talking about the habit of rehearsing. You know how we all do that. We all like start imagining what's coming up and we imagine ourselves in it and we start having the conversations in our head. And so we're going to dive down there and talk about some of the things that are rising up around this habit as it comes into our awareness. But if it's your first time here, welcome. We're really excited to have you here and joining this conversation. My name is Angie. I'm the creator of Journey to Soul, and one of my passions is bringing people together to have conscious conversations. And I didn't realize that. I just always have done that. And so why do I love that? That's what expands our minds, you know? I think when we get together, especially as moms, I think it's really important. We're trying to break patterns that our parents did, and I think our parents did that with their parents and their parents. It's a progression, and we're trying to break these patterns, and it's hard to do it when there's no playbook for it. So I find conscious conversation super helpful to find out what are other people doing, what are their thought processes around this stuff, right? We're unpacking a lot of programming and habits. I like that we're going to be talking about a habit, because there's going to be a lot, I'm sure, that comes out of that. But anyway, who am I? I have a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old. I'm married. I'm just a human having an experience as a mom, and wanting to share that with other people, wanting to collaborate with other people, and just share our wisdom and share it with other people to expand and grow. And that's really it. Anyway, I'll let you introduce yourself, Natalie.
Thanks, Angie. Hey, everyone. My name's Natalie. Who am I? I am a soul that dropped into this human world, a human play, right? We're talking
Mm.
about rehearsing today. And again, like everybody here, I'm waking up, I'm diving and deeper into this awareness of everything that goes around us, right, in our everyday life. And also the programming that has been generational, right? I mean, some of it is societal, but a lot of the stuff that's societal programming is also generational. And I find that as moms, we have a really significant role, like a key role um, to be leaders in reprogramming, right? Um, we have this really amazing role because often we're at the heart of the household, and we have such this amazing opportunity to show everyone how to change, right? And it's these little habits and these little changes that have the most profound effect. So I'm really excited to dive into today's topic with you, Angie.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. Like it is. It's these little habits. We start by making little changes and noticing habits, right? So I'll let you take it away because you're the one that brought this great topic up. It came into your awareness. So yeah, let us know
Yeah,
what you've been thinking.
thank you. So it popped into my awareness because it was actually surrounding work. So it wasn't actually surrounding my family at all. Um, and so I was thinking about meetings that were coming up that day with employees or even that week. And I don't even know how long I spent like ruminating on it. And then all of a sudden I snapped myself out, right? Kind of that awareness is becoming more and more of an autopilot. And this is available for everyone. But anyways, I snapped myself out of it and I'm like, WTF, what am I doing? Why am I going down this rabbit hole of, oh, they're probably going to say this or they're going to feel this way if I say this and like trying to like skate around people's feelings and everything, especially in a professional um like workplace, right? Um so this came into my awareness and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, why am I rehearsing this like ad nauseum? And then I actually asked that question, right? Like I just asked it to myself, and then I the realization came to me that this is at least in my experience, from my childhood and everything, this is a habit that was programmed or ingrained in me from the days of school. I mean, I for one loved the theater and putting on plays. Uh, especially in elementary school, a little bit in high school too. So that kind of, I'm like, oh, okay, that must be where it comes from. But then I'm like, well, no, you remember like when you were doing a project and you had to go up and you had to present, or you had a book report and you had to present it in front of the class. So I mean, different people had different ways of organizing themselves, but I mean, really, especially in the 80s and 90s, it was like drilled into us, know it off by heart, know it off by heart. You'd practice, you'd practice at school, with your buddy, and then you'd practice at home because that was your homework. Like, wild, right?
Yeah.
And we even had like, I don't know if this was just with the French schools, but there was like oral presentations that every grade level would do, and then whoever was voted, top 5 or whatever could move up to the next level. And I loved stuff like that, and I was good at remembering things off by heart. So I was just like, whoa, man, like this shit is deep, like deeply ingrained, right? Of just that habit of I need to rehearse. Like, why is there a need? Like, let's dive in. Like, we have do you have this need of like rehearsing constantly the same speech or just the same conversation over and over again, right?
Yeah, that's really interesting. It's like I'm trying to dive in, right? And I'm like, do I rehearse? Like I do though, because today I had an event, right, in my community, and I was like doing some notes, but I wasn't. I don't think I rehearse. I think because I was bad at that in school. I used to call myself bad at that. Like I was bad at remembering for speeches and stuff, and I would have notes, and I'm still bad at that. I'm still bad at that, right? I still like make notes and then I don't follow my notes at all. So this makes me think about that whole habit. It's a habit. I do this and I spend a lot of energy making these notes and then I don't follow them. And I really don't. So
Interesting.
many times I'm like on a live and I'm like, and I'm just going off script. And then I look at my notes because I'll be like, oh, guys, sorry, I'm like not following my notes. And now I don't even know where I am. So I always go. But I'm realizing now, like, I'm literally realizing that I just, why do I spend the time then? Why is there a need? There is a need. There's still a need in me, even though I might not have that background and maybe that programming didn't strongly hold in my experience, but it's still there. I can see it's still
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And how you mentioned all that energy that you spend to prep your notes, right? Same thing with and even though you may not follow through on that rehearsing, it's a different aspect of it, right? Because you're writing it down, like that energy spent. Whereas me, in the shower, like all the thoughts are
Mhm.
like going like all the little like thought bubbles, right? Are just like crowding the shower.
Yeah.
But that energy spent towards that, right? Of either rehearsing or telling yourself that we should prepare ourselves for whatever's going on, right?
Yeah, ready for a fight. I wrote that down because I feel like this is
Mm.
somewhere especially in our household, we get ready for a fight. We're gonna confront our child or our, partner, or someone in the house about something. Do you find, and I'm curious, anybody who's tuning into this, do you find that you're preparing for a fight? Like, and so we were talking about this before we came on, and it's like you're going over your head, you're thinking exactly what they're gonna say, you think you know what they're gonna say, and then you start responding to what you think they're gonna say, right? And it's like you're heading in for a fight. And so do
Yeah.
you do that? Do you end up so, let's say it's my husband and he comes home, he's coming home and he's just like, "Hi, Rem, happy to be home." And then I'm just like at him with this energy because I've been having a fight with him all day.
In your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. And so he feels the energy, right? And he comes in and he's like,
Yeah.
"What the hell happened?" Or you've probably been on the receiving end of that too. What the hell
Yeah.
happened? I just said hi. What?
Yeah, or you walk in and then they're already halfway through their sentence. My mother was like that. I don't know if she's, well, She was like that when we were growing up.
Hmm.
Of, you'd walk into the room and she's already halfway through the conversation, and like, how are you not on top of this? So again, that energy that like people are like building this up inside of them, right? Because they, again, you're anticipating that there's going to be, let's say an argument or a disagreement or something, and then you're like, let's say, situation A happened, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to tell my spouse, and then they're going to say this, or they're going to do this. And then again, it's like a scene, like a play, like a movie that you just, there's like a movie really in your head. I used to do this very often with my husband.
Hmm.
So this is why I was surprised when this came up in my experience at work, right?
Hmm.
Because I would do this all the time with my husband, and then I'd get myself worked up or anxious, and then he walks in, and then again, remember, everything's a reflection of you. So imagine you're standing, I don't know, I'm facing my closet right now, so whatever you're facing, but there's a row of mirrors. Like if you would look on the side, you'd see a mirror reflecting back. So imagine like you're walking down a hallway of mirrors. So that anxiety, or that like ready to fight vibe energy, is all around you, and you're going to see that
Yes.
in your experience,
Yeah.
because there's there's like, we're surrounded by invisible mirrors, FYI. So you're setting yourself up with that energy, and then your husband walks in, and I don't know, maybe he has a surprise for you in the car, right? And you're like, what the fuck happened? Da, 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 da. And they're like, what?
Right.
Like you're like 20 steps ahead of them, and they have no idea what's going on,
And they
right?
can't
They weren't
catch
there for
up.
that
They
phone
can't
call,
even
or
catch up. Yeah, you can
yeah,
even start trying to explain to them what you've gone through, but they can't catch up. They're like, "What? Like,
because
what?"
it's like a storm. Like I'm imagining like a storm of just like intense, anxious anxiety,
Yeah.
you know, that energy, just like a sandstorm or something.
Yeah. And they just get swept up in it when they come in. So first of all, I'm going to say something. This is wild, okay? You ready for this? You're going to love this. You guys are watching this real time. I pulled a card just before, right? I don't know
Hmm.
why. I was just like, I'm going to pull a card. I don't typically pull a card when we're doing these. And look what it is. Do you see what it says?
What?
Mirror.
Uh,
You were just talking about like a
oh,
hall of mirrors.
yes.
It's like, whoa. Because when I pulled it, I was
Yeah.
like, I don't really know how mirror applies to this. Is that so
There's your
funny?
answer.
I love that. I love that. It is
Yeah.
mirror. You know what I'm wondering too is like I forgot I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So you're using your energy. So you were talking about using all this energy, right? Ruminating. And usually we ruminate about the past. Here we're ruminating about a future event that hasn't happened, right? And we're creating
Mhm.
that event, right? We're creating the mirror of it into our experience. But wouldn't a better use of your time and energy be what do you want to experience when they come home? What do you
Mm.
want to experience? Like, you know what I mean? This is a really good reframe, guys. Like, if this is something you find you do, and I'm realizing, like, yes, I do this. I do this. And so the invitation would be, yeah, what do you want to experience? Whether it's in your work life, whether this is just with friends, whether this is in your household, before moving into an interaction, that would be a really great thing to do. How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? So I mean, using your work as the example, like whatever, what is it that you would want to experience in that interaction, right? That you were rehearsing.
Hmm. Yeah, like the end result. I love that you brought that up, because I was actually talking about this with some of my friends the other day, and that was one of my friends. Um, Whatever, I forget the word. But that's what she said was, instead of focusing on that rehearsing aspect of like that script or that scene that keeps playing out, focus on what's that what's that outcome, like the feeling of that
Yeah.
outcome, like what do you want that to be. So
Yes.
this is actually where, and I'm glad this conversation is going this way, because I mean, rehearsing isn't necessarily bad. I mean,
Nope.
nothing is really good or bad. So we could definitely apply this rehearsing tool or this rehearsing habit to help improve the outcome, to help improve our lives, right? So again, like you were sharing, Angie, like what's that outcome that we want? What's that feeling that we want after that conversation or after that conversation took place, right? And
Mhm.
then you rehearse that feeling, right? Of
Yeah.
I don't know what satisfaction or something or joy, whatever it is, but keep replaying that feeling, that sensation.
Yeah, it's almost like going backwards. Like, how do you want to feel? Like, yeah, how do you want to feel at the end of it? And then, okay, great. What conversation leads to that? And then you've taken yourself away from like muddy waters where you can make up
Yeah.
make up conflict and make up things, right? But if you decide this is how I want to feel and let that be your guiding energy, then
Hmm.
the conversation will come out and you can rehearse it. Actually, that was something I was saying was like today I had this event in my community and I wrote notes, right? And I do spend a lot of time writing, not well, I don't as much as I used to. But anyway, I will write notes, but what I will do is I will kind of rehearse it out loud a little bit just to
Hmm.
make sure it feels aligned. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going for the
Hmm.
feeling. I'm going for the feeling. And so that's why I think I don't end up following my notes. So I'll write the notes, I'll rehearse the notes a little, and then
Hmm.
I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that feels right. I'm on the right track." And then I go in and that's
Yeah.
why I don't end up just reiterating what I wrote, you know?
Hmm.
Hmm. You've given me a lot to think about here.
Yeah. Same here.
But yeah, I think that I think is the takeaway, right? What do you want to experience? What outcome do you want?
Hmm.
And can you allow the
Yeah.
conversation then to be born from that?
Yeah. To flow naturally, right? Or intuitively. Like you're a very intuitive person, Angie. So that's
Mhm.
probably why you never felt pulled into that rehearsing mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a hard time. I feel like I'm bad at it. But see, that's what I've done all my life. It's told myself I'm bad at it. That's what I've learned. I've learned in my
Mm.
journey, like the programming, like I have shamed myself for not doing the programming, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so
Interesting.
interesting that I've shamed myself for it. And now I'm like, oh, thank God I dodged that bullet, you know? I have this one, but I dodged that one. And the other thing, you know what else this makes me think of? Children. Okay, so children show up as themselves. They don't rehearse anything. They just show up
Yeah.
as themselves. And so it just has me thinking, like, where is it that it shifts? You know what I mean? School, I guess. You mentioned that school, we're taught to.
Yeah. I guess in that in my experience, that's where it's kind of been that's where it seems like is that consistency of rehearsing, like again, it's speeches or projects or
Mhm.
whatever presentations, elementary school, high school, college, there was always like that was always consistent, right? Like you had to present something, even something written, right? You'd go over it over and over and by like editing it and everything. Um,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
it's so true. Yeah, I think it does
Mhm.
originate there. And then it's interesting because then we bring it into our households, right?
Yeah, because it becomes a habit. You're doing it unconsciously
Yeah.
every day. Like school takes up, 6 to 8 hours of your day, but you just start applying it to everything, right? Just
Anything
like
that you're going into a
you get organized,
conversation.
you organize your stuff on your desk. Well, you apply that to your bedroom, probably, right?
Yeah.
The way you organize your homework, and then you bring that into, when you start working, right?
Yeah.
Whatever kind of job it is, whatever you learn from that job, you're going to just, again, unconsciously, you're not aware of it, but you start applying that, whether those are healthy habits or not so healthy habits. You start applying that into your life.
And I think that's the invitation for you to, if this is just coming into your awareness, like it is for me, um, looking at it, just looking at it and not labeling it and judging it
Hmm.
as right or wrong, right? Just being like, oh, do I want to spend my energy this way? Do I need to spend my energy this way? I think a lot
Mm,
of the times we realize we don't need to.
yeah.
And
Mm,
ask yourself those questions. What do I want to experience? What outcome? How do I want to feel at the end of this interaction?
yeah. Yeah, and repeat that feeling, that sensation. That's what you
Where's that?
rehearse. Yeah, and then just let whatever that whatever comes prior to that feeling in that moment,
Mhm.
let it free flow, right? Let it be more intuitive.
Yeah.
Because then that's the real you. That's the authentic you, right? You're
Yeah.
not holding a script in your hand.
Yeah, and then you're not weirding people out with your vibe. You're not proceeding with this
Yeah.
energy
Yes,
that
exactly.
isn't you.
Great point. Yeah, that energy is going to be a lot more authentic. Um, you'll just have a lot more space. Like you're just going to be offering more space because your nervous energy isn't going to be there because you're going to
Yeah.
be focusing on whatever that however you want to feel,
Yeah.
right?
If
So maybe
joy
you want to
is what you want
feel,
to feel.
yeah, joy is what you want to feel. Well, you're probably going to be feeling more joy than anxious. There might be a little bit of nervousness, but that overlying energy is going to be joy,
Yeah, you
right?
have something to focus on, right? You have joy to focus
Mm,
on.
yeah.
I'm really interested to apply this into my own life and just see and play with it. Play with it, guys. Play with it. Everything we share with you, like just play with it in your own life and try it on and maybe adjust it for however it works for you, right?
Ah,
Yeah. So, what a
yeah.
great topic. Thanks for bringing this one up.
Yeah, of course. This is a lot more fun than I had it would be. But yeah, a lot
You
of great
never
points were
know.
brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why it's so important to just share what's on your heart, man. Just share what's coming up because you never know what's gonna this is what conscious conversations is, guys. And so if you have something on your heart, please like share it with us. Like we'll jam on it. We'll jam on it.
Hmm.
You can share your own thoughts about it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, do you have any finishing thoughts there?
No, I think it was pretty good to
Yeah.
round it off. I don't know what else it was. Again, like simple, and again, I love how you said, Angie, to play with it, right? Try it out however it feels for you. Like don't be afraid to try these tools out, guys.
Yeah.
They're yours to play with, right?
Yeah. And once you experience it, it shifts you. You can't help it. It
Yeah, once you
does.
experience that outcome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So allow yourself to play with it. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Angie and this is Natalie. Julie is usually with us. You can find our information in the description box below. And if you like this video, please like it. It really helps us. And share it. Share it with other mothers, other humans, right? That could really benefit from these conversations. And if you want to follow our videos, we're live every Tuesday. We premiere our video live and we'll be there to chat, at least one of us, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I think I got everything there.
Yeah, I think
All
you
right.
did.
All
It's always a
right. Thank
mouthful,
you.
eh?
Yeah, it is a mouthful. I can never remember. Julie always remembers. I don't
Yeah.
remember it all, but that's okay. All right. Have a great day until next episode. Bye bye.